Hi, my name is Kiran. Welcome to GK Videos. In this video, I'm gonna talk about how to set up Iscsi volumes using Iomega NAS storage and Windows 64-bit operating system. So let us get started. So here are some of the couple of points we're gonna perform in this lab video. So basically, the Iscsi volume is nothing but a block device. So the storage would allocate that particular space to your host operating system, and the host operating system in turn would administer the volume. So the host operating system would use its native file system. In Windows, by default we use NTFS, and in Linux we use ext3, ext4, and XFS. So I'm gonna log into my device console. I'm using IX12300R NAS storage device from Iomega, and this is my NAS console. You can see here, and my NAS IP address is 192.168.0.11. Okay, so what I would do now is I will click on the Iscsi icon available on the web interface of the NAS, then click on add an Iscsi drive. So here I need to provide the Iscsi name. In our exercise I would give the name as test to make it more simple. Test lab should be fine. And the size, this is the size of the Iscsi volume which you're gonna create, and you can see the maximum space you have available, or I have available right now, is 1.57 TB. So I would allocate a 20 GB space, and that can be provide, that space can be anything. I mean, if I need a 50 GB Iscsi LAN, I can create, or 100 GB, but it should not exceed the actual space 1.55 TB. Wait, calm down. So this is the connected clients it would show. Since this is a new Iscsi LAN, uh, there is no information available. But once this Iscsi volume is connected to any particular client, then we can see the Iscsi initiator name over here. And this is Iscsi users. Iscsi users is nothing but it's a extra security been added on this particular device. So basically what it does is normally it would restrict the user access to that particular Iscsi volume, which means if you are assigning this particular Iscsi volume to a particular host with the username, and some other user is trying to access it, it would prompt for the username password. So, and if that user doesn't have the correct username password, it would not authenticate, and he'll not be able to access the Iscsi drive. So in our case, I would create a user. This is called chap user. I would create a user called test, and the chap secret is nothing but a password, and the password should consist up to 12 characters. So in our case, I can provide a 12 character password. Otherwise, what I can do, I can enter a password up to 4 or 5 characters, and remaining characters I can put star mark. So that should fail the 12 characters restriction. So in our case, I would enter a password called test, and remaining 8 characters add stars or as mark. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So now I just created a user account, and on the storage side we are done. Now I'll just log into my Windows 64-bit operating system. It's Windows 7 basically. So I'm just taking a remote of the PC, and I can check the details here. It's Windows 7 Professional 64-bit, and for our lab purpose I've just created a shortcut of Iscsi initiator. Basically you can find it under control panel, or you search here Iscsi initiator, you would find it. Just copy it, paste it on your desktop. That will create a shortcut. So in our case, I just double click, and here the target is nothing but the storage IP address. So the IP address of my IX12 300R device is 192.168.0.11. Quick connect. Look here, since we have set a username over there, here it would not authenticate without entering the credentials. Just in case if I don't want the extra security, I can delete it and I'll be able to access it whenever I want from any PC. But please keep in mind that if I'm gonna use the same Iscsi volume in different Iscsi initiator or different clients, then the file system gonna corrupt. And it is recommended that if you are connected a Iscsi volume to a particular PC, you should be accessing the Iscsi drive from that particular PC, not from another PC. So here we get the error message, unable to log into the target. I understand. So now what I can do, I can select, click connect, go to advanced, click on enable CHAP logon, and here you need to enter the username. So in our case I have created a username called test, and the password is test 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. All right, click OK. Now you see it is connected. Now the next thing what we're gonna have to do is go to right click on your computer, click on manage, go to your disk management, and here you go. So this is the drive which has been scanned by your operating system, and this is disk 1. It shows the partition table of master boot record and GPT. So master boot record is the default or native partition table for Windows, but since there is a limitation where master boot record is not compatible with a drive more than 2 TB size, hence GPT developed. In our case, we are using a 20 gig Iscsi LUN, so I would go with master boot record. Click OK. And now you see the 20 GB is unallocated, so now I got to format it with Windows native file system. The size you can mention here, so I'm gonna use the all 20 GB space. Then the drive letter E, next, and here you go, the file system. So by default it selects NTFS and FAT32. So FAT32, comparing to FAT32, NTFS has better functionality. I would use this. And allocation unit size, by default it's default, but you can select anything you want. So this is nothing but the block size or the data size. It's gonna write in a block way. For example, 512, it would write 512 blocks of data each time. So it would be helpful for people who, if you are using this Iscsi volume with your database of Oracle or MySQL or SQL. In our case, I'll leave it as it is and click next, finish. So now it's gonna format the Iscsi volume with NTFS file system. And here we come. If you now check the connected clients, you would see this is the IP address of the host and this is the IQN number we are using right now. And this is how we set up Iscsi LUN on Iomega NAS storage. Thank you for watching this video.